I never thought I'd inherit a mess like the Izumi Uncle Jed's old ranch out in the middle of nowhere, Nevada. A dusty pile of boards and regrets that hadn't seen a soul in years. Or so I thought. When I pulled up to that sagging porch, saddlebags slung over my shoulder, I figured I'd find cobwebs and maybe a stray coyote. Not a woman standing in the kitchen, clutching a dull knife like it was her last friend. Her name was Ellie Harper, though I didn't know that yet. And the first thing she said to me, calm as a desert morning, was, "You're gonna sleep with me, mister, or we're both dead." Her voice didn't waver, but her hands shook just enough to tell me she wasn't crazy, she was scared. Calculating. Like someone who'd been running so long she'd forgotten what standing still felt like. Her dress was torn, once a pale blue, now stained with dirt and something dark that could have been blood. Behind her, I saw signs of life nobody warned me about, a pile of blankets in the corner, tin cans lined up like soldiers, and scratches on the wall. Tally marks counting days. Weeks maybe. I dropped my bags, the thud echoing like a warning shot, and I just stared, trying to figure out what kind of trouble I'd walked into. The ranch was supposed to be empty. Townsfolk swore Jed died alone, but Ellie, she was no ghost. She was real. And the way she held that knife said she'd made choices she wasn't proud of to stay alive. I raised my hand slow, like I was calming a spooked horse, and said, "Ma'am, I think you got the wrong guy." Her eyes, sharp as broken glass, didn't blink. "No mistake," she said, stepping closer, the floorboards groaning under her bare feet. "You're here now, which means they are coming. And when they do, they'll want to know why I'm still breathing." I didn't know who they were, but the way her voice tightened told me they weren't bringing flowers. I backed toward the door, my boots creaking, but she moved with me, like a shadow you can't shake. "Who's coming?" I asked, keeping my voice low, like I could talk us both out of whatever this was. She glanced at the window, where the sun was sinking fast, painting the empty corral in shades of fire. "You really don't know, do you?" she said, and for a second, her grip on the knife faltered, like she was surprised I wasn't in on her secret. I pulled out the deed to the ranch, the papers that dragged me out here, and that's when I saw a date was wrong. Signed a year after Jed's funeral. My stomach dropped, like I'd missed a step in the dark. Ellie caught my look and gave a smile that wasn't happy, more like she was seeing a trap snap shut. "Now you're getting it," she said. "Your uncle didn't just leave you a ranch, left you a war." Before I could ask what the hell that meant, the ground started to hum. Faint at first, then louder. The unmistakable rhythm of horses, hooves pounding the dirt like a clock running out. Ellie moved fast, grabbing a worn satchel from under her blankets, stuffing those cans inside like they were gold. "How many?" I asked, peering out the window. "Don't," she snapped, her voice cutting like a whip. "They'll see your shadow, and this place'll be ashes with us in it." I froze, heart thumping, as the hoofbeats stopped outside. At least 3 horses, maybe more. Ellie yanked me toward a wall panel, her fingers finding hidden grooves like she'd done this 100 times. The wood swung open, revealing a crawl space barely big enough for one, let alone two. In, she hissed, and against every instinct screaming to run, I squeezed in beside her, the smell of her fear mixing with the dust and rot. She pulled the panel shut, plunging us into darkness, and we waited, pressed close, her breath hot and ragged against my neck. Outside, boots hit the porch, spurs jingling like death knells. The door crashed open, and a voice gravelly, foreign, maybe Scandinavian, barked. Search every inch. She's been here. The fireplace is warm. Ellie's hand clamped my arm, her whisper barely a breath. If they find us, say you're just passing through. Say you never saw me. My saddlebags, left by the door, gave me away before I could lie. Fresh gear, a younger voice called, eager, like a kid who'd found a prize. Someone new's here. The foreign voice gulped, satisfied, said, check the barn, the well, everywhere, and bring me her bag from upstairs. Ellie stiffened beside me. Whatever was in that bag, it was worth more than her life. The search dragged on, boots stomping, furniture splintering, until the leader spoke again. She's gone. Probably to the river. We'll catch her there, but first, we burn this place. The sharp stink of kerosene hit my nose, soaking the floorboards. Ellie was trembling now, but her voice stayed steady. When I say run, you go out the back. Don't look for me. Don't help, just run. I wanted to argue, but the sound of liquid splashing told me we were out of time. Then, a shout from upstairs, boss. Found something, letters, tied with string, addressed to Sarah Harper. Ellie stopped breathing, her body rigid as stone. Through the gaps in the wood, I saw the leader, an older man with silver hair and scarred fists, holding those letters like they were a winning hand. Sarah Harper, he said, savoring the name. So that's what she's calling herself now. Leave the house standing. She'll come back for these, and we'll be waiting. I thought we were done for when my spurs scraped the wood, a soft sound. But in that silent house, it was a scream. The leader's boots stopped. Rats don't wear spurs, he said, and I could hear the smile in his voice. He was at the panel now, testing it, his shadow looming. Come out, or I shoot through the wall. 1. Ellie didn't wait. She clawed at the wood above, dirt raining down as she opened a path to the roof. 2. She climbed, silent and fast, and I followed, my heart pounding so loud I thought they'd hear it. 3. A gunshot tore through the panel, splinters flying where we'd been seconds ago. Another shot grazed my boot as we scrambled onto the roof, the shingles hot as coals under our hands. Ellie moved like she'd done this before, leaping to a water barrel below, landing with a splash. I wasn't so graceful, clipped the barrel, hit the mud hard, pain shooting through my shoulder. She yanked me up, whispering, "Move. They're coming." We ran for the creek, bullets snapping bark off trees as we dove into the water, using the banks for cover. Sarah Harper, I gasped, waiting fast. That's you, isn't it? She didn't look back? Sarah's dead. Ellie's just trying to stay that way. Those letters theory proof of something bigger than me. Something that'll burn this whole territory down if it gets out. The dogs came next. Their barking echoing off the canyon walls. And Ellie's story spilled out between breaths. My Uncle Jed didn't die of a heart attack like the town said. The man with the scarred fists, Lars Hagen, killed him. Slow and brutal. To keep him quiet. Jed had hired Ellie, a schoolteacher who could write better than most, to track Hagen's dirty deals, guns smuggled to outlaws, stirring up fights so he could profit from the chaos. Those letters were her reports. Proof Jed meant to send to a federal marshal. But Hagen got to him first, tortured him until he gave up Ellie's hiding spot. She escaped. Barely. And had been hiding in that ranch ever since, waiting for someone like me to show up or for Hagen to finish her off. We get those letters back, I said, surprising myself. Ellie stopped dead in the water, staring like I'd lost my mind. That's suicide, she said. Hagen's got men. Money. Half the territory in his pocket. But I wasn't letting Jed's killer walk free. Not after what she told me. The dogs were closer now, their handlers splashing through the creek. We climbed a game trail to an old mining road, moving quiet, staying low. From the ridge, we saw Hagen's camp below, a fire glowing in the ruins of a way station. He was there, reading the letters like they were a damn novel. His men scattered, some still searching for us. He thinks he's won, I muttered, checking my revolver. Ellie grabbed my arm. Once we do this, there's no going back. He'll hunt us forever. He's already hunting us, I said, meeting her eyes. At least this way. We fight. We split up her to make noise. Me to grab the letters. When a rock clattered on her side, the guards turned, and I ran for the fire. Hagen looked up as I dove across the rock. Papers flying. He was fast, his pistol out before I could blink. You're Jed's boy, he sneered. Gun steady. Meddling runs in the family. Huh. A shot rang out, not his. Ellie stood at the fire's edge, her revolver smoking. Hagen slumping dead across the rock, blood soaking the letters. We grabbed everything: letters, maps, names of Hagen's contacts, proof of a plot to topple the territory with hired guns and fake governors. Ellie's hands shook, but her voice didn't. Johnson's dead. Martinez ran. We gotta move. We took Hagen's horse, a black stallion that felt like justice, and headed for town, not Denver. Federal law trumps Hagen's bought judges, I said. We telegraphed the marshal. Let him come to us. 3 weeks later, the ranch was standing again. Ellie hanging laundry like we hadn't just torn down an empire. Marshal Tate rolled in with a posse, rounded up Hagen's men, and exposed their boss, some ex-Danish officer named Eric Voss, wanted across 3 states. The letters did their job justice for Jed, and a new start for us. Standing on that porch, watching Ellie smile, really smile. No fear in it, I felt something settle in me. No regrets. She asked, her hand brushing mine. I thought of Jed, of the fight we'd won, of the woman who'd gone from a stranger with a knife to the partner I'd ride through hell for. Not a damn one, I said, and meant it. Now, y'all, what would you have done? Faced a man like Hagen. Would you run, fight, or try to outsmart him? Drop a comment. Share your take. Let's talk about what justice really looks like when the law's bought and paid for. Hit that subscribe button. And if you want more stories where grit meets heart, give us a super chat to keep them coming. Your support means the world.